Bro, explain this to me. How do you bench a 22-year-old lottery pick for 16 straight games, and then his first game actually playing, he dropped 20 points in 21 minutes? Like, bro, what are we doing here? Because Johnathan Kuminga didn't just wake up and randomly ask for a trade. This has been building for a minute, and the Warriors low-key created all of this on their own. Think about it like this. He didn't ask for a trade out of emotion or because he was mad. He waited until January 15th, 2026, and that's the exact day he became eligible. Boom, trade request. That right there tell me that it's not about ego. This is all about frustration. Because earlier in the season, he was healthy and still didn't play for 16 straight games, bro. 16. That's just basically telling him he not part of the plan. And from Steve Kerr's side of it, I think he basically saying like he got to earn it. He talked about like the spacing issues with Kuminga, Butler, and Draymond Green on the court. And I get it. That is hella broke jumper. But you can't say that you haven't earned the minutes when you don't actually let him play. Like, bro, development not linear. And it seemed like he get benched every time he mess up. And that's where the inconsistencies come from. And to me, if that's Steve Kerr argument, that's where it fall apart. Because after all of that, he sat out 16 straight games, came back and dropped 20 points in 21 minutes after Jimmy Butler got hurt. He ain't had no warm-up game, no finding his rhythm, straight impact. So now I'm asking myself, if he could do that, what is he doing on the bench? Now I look at his contract, and this is where it gets just a little sneaky at. Kuminga signed a 2-year, $46.8 million extension, and at first glance that sounds like commitment, but it's actually not. The deal was structured so he could be traded by January 15th and hit free agency sooner. So basically he signed it just in case shit go left. Both sides I feel like knew this wasn't long term, and then Mike Dunleavy said this.
By the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the demand, I'm aware of that. I think when in terms of demands, when you look at demand, there needs to be demand on the market. So we'll see where that unfolds.
That's basically your GM saying you're not even good enough for us to find a trade for you. And if I'm Johnathan Kuminga, once you say that publicly, I'm not playing for you no more. I would have said I was hurt. And it's crazy to me because I remember once upon a time, teams was calling the Warriors about Kuminga and he was basically untouchable. To go from that to now I'm seeing tweets about him not being on the Warriors post-deadline is crazy. And you would think that it is a market for Kuminga out there. I know the Kings was sniffing around. The Lakers, of course, they do need wings bad. The Mavericks, I seen that they was talking about Daniel Gafford. Then you got teams like the Nets, the Bucks, the Blazers. And here's the scary part for Golden State. One of those teams, Kuminga probably is actually better off on. I'm going to be honest, my personal favorite Kuminga trade I saw was actually Andrew Wiggins back to the Warriors and send Kuminga to the Heat. I think Kuminga could rock out in Miami and Wiggins to the Warriors will actually be what they need, especially while Jimmy Butler being gone. Then again, adding Wiggins back to that roster do not seem like a confident move for the Warriors in my opinion. It's just like, at what point do you look towards the future? I don't think you're going to win another championship in the Steph Curry era, so now would be the time to develop these young players, but that's just me. Not to mention Wiggins on a bigger contract, so you don't add him unless you're trying to dump money in the future, or you just doing this to make Kuminga look more attractive on the trade market. But either way, that's not showing a vote of confidence in your own development system. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is a trade market out there for Johnathan Kuminga. If he really was that bad, the Warriors would have been traded him or let him go. This is most definitely personal. The Warriors actually got a bigger problem though, and it's really about timing. Yes, Steph is still Steph, but the Warriors are stuck between win now and build later. And it's actually not the first time we've seen them in this position. They could have drafted win now help like LaMelo Ball, but instead they drafted James Wiseman as a prospect but never fully committed to developing him. Now they drafted Johnathan Kuminga, another raw prospect, and never fully committed to developing him. Only difference this time is that they win now help Jimmy Butler towards ACL, and now their whole plan is cooked. Kuminga didn't fail the Warriors failed to pick a direction. But questioning his value as a player and then benching him for 16 games and then saying he has no trade value is actually insane. Not only is that poor development, but that's poor management, man. Either free him or stop pretending that y'all building for the future. Because somebody else going to let him hoop, and the Warriors definitely going to regret watching that happen. I'll tell you what, Mike Dunleavy, since it's not a big market out there for Johnathan Kuminga, as a representative of the Lakers, man, we will give you Gabe Vincent and whatever chips you want from the vending machine. But not for real, all jokes aside, Johnathan Kuminga can hoop, and he deserves to be on the team where he could be free and hooping. But let me know what y'all think about Johnathan Kuminga and the Warriors in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm out, bro.